But it's crucial to know what he was found guilty of. Specifically, it was 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
Okay. Transportation to engage in prostitution. 2 counts.
2 counts. And each one carries a potential maximum sentence of 10 years in prison.
10 years each. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's where it immediately gets, well, complicated, right? And where you see this clash between the legal finding and what people thought.
Mm-hmm.
That same report says he was acquitted of the really serious stuff. Racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking.
That's the core of the confusion, absolutely.
So maybe you can help us here, because for a lot of us, I think the line between transporting for prostitution and sex trafficking feels, well, blurry. Can you break down those terms? Why is that distinction legally so critical?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is where so much of the public reaction stems from. So let's try to clarify. Transportation to engage in prostitution, legally speaking, often deals with moving someone, facilitating their travel for what might be considered consensual sex work, even if the act itself is illegal in that place. The focus is on the movement for that purpose.
Okay, the movement.
Right. Now, sex trafficking, that's a whole different level. It's much more severe because the prosecution has to prove an element of force, fraud, or coercion. Meaning the person was forced, tricked, or somehow compelled into commercial sex against their will. It's that coercion element that's the key legal difference.
So it's not just about moving someone, it's about how and why was there coercion involved.
Precisely. And proving that coercion, that lack of consent, beyond a reasonable doubt in court, that's often a very high bar for prosecutors.
Gotcha. Which isn't always clear, just reading a headline or a quick post. And speaking of quick posts, if you look at those comments on the TikTok, wow, it was immediate. People jumped right in with some really strong feeling.
Oh, instantly. And what's fascinating is how quickly people zeroed in on what they saw as like an inconsistency, a paradox almost.
Yeah.
You had comments, direct quotes here, like Marie Alexandra Perez asking, so he's transporting, but he's not trafficking. How corrupt is the system?
Right. Straight to corruption.
Straight there. Or Lanaya Renee wrote, so he's guilty for transporting, but not trafficking. That's trafficking, y'all. Using the skull emoji.
Yeah, the internet verdict.
Totally. And another one, Cogswell Johnson, put it really plainly. It almost sounds like transportation to engage in prostitution is the same thing as trafficking.
Yeah.
And that really captures it, right? This struggle between the precise legal definitions and just the common everyday understanding of what those words seem to imply.
And that feeling of it not making sense, that quickly turned into people just outright saying the system was rigged, didn't it?
Absolutely. The corruption allegations flew fast. Someone named Victa said, this system is so corrupted, money will buy everything and everyone.